Hey, good morning, everybody. What's going on? This is your girl Tracy Williams, and I got a fantastic guy here with me this morning. Goes by a couple of different nicknames, but the one I like most is Dr. Financial. So, thank you for joining. As you hop on, please put something in the box if you have a business, especially a small business. Please put the name of your business in there. We want to make sure that we support you. If you see somebody's business in there that you want to connect with, make sure that you connect with them. Get with them after the show, DM them, or let them know what you like. You know how you want to connect with them. So today I got a really important show with you. So welcome to Inspiring Hope, where I give you the ability to have only positive expectations through true self-care. And part of self-care is not just spiritually or physically, emotionally, but part of that is also financially. So today we're going to switch it up a bit. We're going to hit that financial piece because I know that all the people that I know, friends and family, they love to do some good financial stuff in the world and want to leave a legacy for their children and for others. Am I right, Ron? What about the ones you know?
Yeah, definitely. It's all about that generational wealth and building legacies for the next generation.
That's right. All right, so just jump in right quick and say hello to the people before we get started good.
Hey everybody, my name's Ron. I'm from Washington, D.C. I'm a financial literacy coach. I pretty much focus on credit restoration, credit education, and credit literacy. I'm also a passive income coach. I teach people how to turn liabilities into cash flow and assets. I also have a nonprofit based out of D.C. called First Base Inc., where we focus on youth mentorship, professional development, and community outreach. So that's a little bit about me.
Wow, you said all the stuff I was gonna say. I made sure I had my stuff up so I could read it and read it just right.
Yeah, I got it.
Morning, you guys. We appreciate you taking time out of your busy Saturday morning. This is going to be an awesome show. So we know sharing is caring. Make sure that you hit that share button and share with somebody else. We are definitely living in a time where we have to learn how to handle our finances, take care of our finances, and make sure we have something coming in, whether we do it or not. I got a new saying this year. I'm like, if it ain't making money, it ain't making sense. And if you're offended by that, that's okay. I love it because I like to challenge the mind and get us to, that's how we experience that growth in our mind. So it means something about your relationship with money, finances. But you know what? When I say that, it's not all about the money, but it is about being profitable. So if you're not being profitable in something that you're doing, if it's not doing something good for you, then you need to switch up and change what you're doing and do something different. Am I right? Yes. Okay. So I want to make sure I introduce you guys to Ron formally. His name is Ron Curtis. He was born and raised in Washington, D.C., graduated from Virginia Commonwealth University in Richmond, Virginia, and he got his bachelor's in administration with a concentration in human resources management. He also pledged Alpha Kappa Psi. So you guys, so he's an Alpha. Got an Alpha in the house.
Well, no, I'm not an Alpha. It's called AK Psi. AK Psi. It's a business friend.
Okay. Got you. Okay. So AK Psi. And like you said, he's a financial literacy coach, and also he, helps produce passive income. What I love about this guy when we first talked the first time is that you can tell from when he was a young kid, he was ready to be an entrepreneur. He was ready to make some money. So I got some questions for him today that he probably has no idea what I'm going to ask. We didn't script this. It ain't recorded. None of that. Y'all catching him live and raw, just the way it really is. So we're going to see some true transparency come out here. So tell me a little bit, how did you get into becoming a financial coach?
So a financial coach. So one thing I realized, I'm 27, and I realized, they don't teach financial literacy at school. You're not going to learn it in the streets. You're not going to learn it at home either. So a lot of times people learn it from, experience when they're already waist deep in financial issues. So just me personally, full transparency, right out of college, I got a good job working for the DC government. I was going out partying, having fun, and I found myself in some credit card debt. And one day my monthly minimum went from $100 a month to $600 a month. It just jumped up, and I didn't understand why. So just being a curious person I am, and I love seeking knowledge, I went and kind of researched why that happened. And make a long story short, I was able to get myself out of credit card debt by consolidating loans and leveraging my credit score to take that $600 a month payment and making it $200 a month over a 5-year period for like a total of about $10,000. Then I did it for a couple of my friends, I helped them. They were paying $1,000+ a month on 5 different credit cards, and they now brought their payments to $300 a month. So I said, you know what? Somebody else could use this. So I just that's where my passion came from. I published an ebook called Financial Lit, Understanding Credit Cards. It's just a quick 10 to 15 page ebook that breaks down credit cards and how they work, to kind of give some of that knowledge that I got from my research and my experience, so the next person could benefit from it. And then from that, I just kind of took off. I got in to credit repair, credit restoration, learning more about that. I just became a licensed or certified tax preparer. I just became a licensed notary. And I have a plethora of passive income opportunities, little businesses that I have running. So that's pretty much, I love passive income, residual income. And yeah, I'm just a natural born hustler.
And that's what I love about it. It's like he said, he's a natural born hustler. And you guys, it's not like you have to be naturally born to do this, but you can learn. And we always going to be learning and growing and connecting and networking with each other. So make sure if this is something that you need, or somebody that you know needs something like this, make sure you give them a shout out. Hey, I want to shout out to Miss Delicia this morning. She's got a shop, Sisters Helping Others Progress, and Miss Kathy Weaver. Thank you for joining us. That's Miss Miracles with Water. So shout out to you, and shout out to Pakistan. Thank you for joining us this morning. This is awesome. So I love the whole passive income. You know, when I first started enjoying passive income, it was something I didn't do on purpose. I just had a goal for something that I wanted to achieve, and part of that was giving back. So I know earning, it has a lot to do with giving. I think the more that you give, the more that you receive. And one of the first things that really drew me to him was, we were just talking, having a conversation, just chatting a bit. And he was like, yeah, I just make income so easily and, effortlessly, and it comes in abundance. And so I was like, man, that's one of the things I used to say all the time, one of my I am affirmations, and I stopped doing that. But we got to start again. We got to start again, you guys, with our affirmations. So if that's not one of yours, come on, you can adopt that, and make sure that you're saying that every day, because we can do that. But let me ask you this. When was the first time you noticed, when you were a kid, did you ever like sell candy or do something like that and you really enjoyed it?
That's a great question. So the first time that I noticed when I was a kid, okay, so in elementary school, there's these cartoons called Dragon Ball Z. And in elementary school, everybody went through a phase where we were drawing Dragon Ball Z characters. And they were like real big. So we would draw them, and then we would also take pictures and trace them. So I had a color printer at my house, and I would go on Google and print out some of the Dragon Ball Z characters, and I would trace them in school. So I remember this guy, I'm not gonna say his name, I remember his name. He was like, hey, I'll buy 2 pictures from you for $100. And I'm in the 3rd grade. I'm like, whoa, $100? He like, yeah. So I say, okay. I sold him 2 Dragon Ball Z printout pictures for $100. Next thing I know, I had a wallet like this. I'm walking around the school flashing my $100 bill to the ladies and everything. And I was feeling so like I made a serious flip. Like I made a nice sale. I get home, I'm happy. I tell my parents, like, hey, mom and dad, I got this $100. Can y'all go ahead and put that in my savings account? Because I know every Christmas, every birthday, they had a savings account for me. And they're like, where did you get this $100 from? I tell them not really thinking of anything. Next thing I found out, that guy, I guess my parents wrote a letter to the teacher. That guy, it turns out he ended up stealing the money out of his mother's purse.
Uh-oh.
To buy the photos. To buy the pictures. But
did you have to get the money back?
Yeah, I had to get the money back, unfortunately.
Oh man.
But I guess I learned, and I'm realizing now that I think about it, it's like you can put a price on anything. Anything can be sold. And it's like you can monetize off everything. So that's definitely, as far back as I can remember, that's the first time I made my first sale. And it was like supply and demand. It was economics in 3rd grade. So
I love that. That's what's up. You can make money off of anything and put your price on it. You just got to find somebody that finds value in it, and they will buy it. So yeah, and so that goes along with what I'm saying this year and every year until the Lord calls me home. If it ain't making money, it ain't making sense. If that bothers you, it's okay. You can put something in the chat. And I don't just mean making cash money, but if it's not profitable, if it's not doing you some good, whether it's a relationship, whether it's church, whether it's your JOB, the just over broke, then it ain't making sense. then we got to have some multiple streams of income. And I think if COVID didn't teach us anything else, it taught us this. We got to look for something different because we want different results, right?
That's true.
Yeah. And I hate the thought of people, getting kicked out of their homes after a certain amount of time, just because their job closed down or things changed or switched. So people had to learn how to pivot and do something a little bit different, right? Like basketball.
Exactly. Versatility is everything. Something one of my old supervisors used to tell me that's going to stick with me for life. He would always say, "You're a sorry rat if you have one hole to crawl in." And I didn't understand what that meant until he broke it down. It's just like, I look at it compared to multiple streams of income. Like, rats, if you're a good rat, you got a whole bunch of escape routes, different entrances, exits, and things like that. But you just got to have multiple holes in a sense.
Right. I love that. And one of the three books that I really like, when it comes to finances and kind of changing your mindset about that, especially when you're young and you don't have a good relationship with money, if you have a problem saying, I love money, that kind of thing, or when people, if you believe in those things where people say, this money's burning a hole in my pocket, or ain't got a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out, or money don't go on trees. So if you grew up with those sayings, then one of the greatest books that you can read is Think and Grow Rich, so you can think and grow rich. And I believe he even says in there, it's still not all about just the cash when we talk about growing rich, right? We were all born with either the ability to, choose. We could choose life or death. We could choose to be rich or poor. It's all up to whatever our values are, right?
That's true. That's true. Napoleon Hill, he had a great book. He definitely broke down a lot of key concepts. That's one of the second book that I read that changed my perception of money. So that's definitely a great read.
Awesome. And the other one I like is Rich Dad Poor Dad. And when I think about that, I always think about, what? I bought that not purposely. I wasn't even thinking about I didn't know that was what it was about. And so when I got it, it was on audio. So I put it in the car. My son's in grade school. So I put it in the car and I'm listening. I'm like, oh, this is really cool. This is good. I'm like, and I love it. It was like for anybody's age, you can listen to that book and gain some great concepts when it comes to finances, making money, and being a good steward and all that kind of stuff. Did you like that one?
Yeah, that's true. What's crazy, you just got me thinking. When I first read that book, I got out of one church service, and when I walked to the back in a little fellowship hall, they had some books, free books on display. And I actually picked up that book. And ironically, I didn't read it probably for that year that I had it. But at my first internship that turned into a full-time job, when I didn't have work to do, I would sit there with my headphones in and I would listen to Rich Dad Poor Dad on YouTube. And then I would be taking notes on the book as if I was working. And that's the first book I ever listened to or read that changed my perception. Another good book Robert Kawasaki has is called The Cash Flow Quadrant. That's when it changed my perception as well.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. So today, I know people are probably dying to hear some ideas about passive income. And I gotta say this. Last night I was on Clubhouse, right? So ever since I joined, I kind of been like, clicking in and clicking out very often, I gotta say. And when I woke up, I was like, man, I was just dreaming about this idea. So I want you to just share some things before I share, what's on my heart.
Passive income. So like I was saying earlier, I firmly believe you can monetize anything. If you have a skill, you may not even know that it's specialized. Somebody will, pay for your services, whether it's your 9-to-5 job or something that you do. You can add value to someone else's life. So just to name a few that I have. So first, I have a vending machine business. It's a very passive or semi-passive type of income. You purchase a vending machine or you purchase a route or a location, you buy the snacks, you set your prices, and depending on the foot traffic, you either filling it up once a week or once every 2 to 3 weeks. It's a good way to double your money. It's a good money to make money while you're not actively trading your time for money. The second one that I have is my favorite. It's a rental car business. I teach people how to turn liabilities into cash flow and assets. So how the business model works, you place a car, either you buy it used, new, or use your own car that you're not using. You put it on a for hire ride share platform. These platforms are called Turo and Hire Car. You put your car on there. Your car is rented out. It's kind of like Airbnb for your car. And like I rent out one of my cars at around $40 a day. I net $30 a day after they take their cut in their insurance. But what I love about it is it's a two-way street. So it gives people an opportunity who rent your car to go do DoorDash, Uber, Lyft, Grubhub, Instacart, things like that, which allows them to provide for their family and put food on the table. And at the same time, it allows you to make money passively by leveraging your asset. So my first car that I had, my renter has had it since September 8th consecutively. We are now at January 23rd. It's been 130 plus days, and he's paid around $4,000 profit for that car. And the car was like $10,000. So he's been paid off at least a third of the car in about a third of the year. So that's a good way. He could keep it for the whole year, and then he paid the car off. He might have put 15, 20,000 miles on it, but I bought it at 40, 30,000 miles. So now I have an asset that's paid off that I can choose to drive around if I want, or I can continue to rent it out and rinse and repeat the cycle.
Awesome.
So
what? That's a great idea. That's a great idea, especially for somebody who don't, may not have good credit because they're not able to purchase a car,
exactly,
or even rent a car, or because your credit is so important, you guys. We gotta get and keep our credit up, And so I want to say this for people that are Christians, that that's part of being a Christian, is that fruit of the Spirit is making sure if somebody gives you money, loans you money, pay it back, pay it on time, because you want to be paid on time, you want to be paid back, all that good stuff. So yeah, if you're joining again on the replay, make sure you put in there #replay so that I know that you joined. If these are some good ideas to you, do me a favor and put something in the box. If you guys have questions, make sure you put those in the box. I know when he said something about renting a car, I was like, how can you trust them to rent your car? Because when you rent a car, like, you put as many miles on it as you want. Sometimes you might not treat it as good as your own personal car, but you just never know, So when you rent yours out, do you do like credit background on them or anything?
So the platforms handle all of that. They make them do background checks. They kind of vet the renter before. All you're really doing is putting your vehicle up on that platform. And when they send a request, sometimes I go look at their Facebook, see, what type of person they are, how they move, kind of. And then I accept it. They come meet me. They show me their driver's license. They get in the car. You keep it as long as you want. So yeah, it's really passive. Like, the biggest thing
you don't have to personally deal with that person if you don't want to, huh? Except for when they get the car, maybe.
So every day they extend your car. Sometimes they'll be late extending. You text them, hey, are you extending today? Hey, my bad. Yeah, I'm about to extend right now. If they're unresponsive, I have different technology inside the vehicle. Like an example, I have a kill switch inside them. So if they're not extending, I could cut off the car with a press of a button on my iPhone. And then 30 minutes later, cha-ching, you've been paid. Hey, I just paid. Can you cut the car back on? Yeah, I cut it back on now. And that's just how it works.
Hey, that's what I love about the Cash app. You don't have to, give no checks away. Wait for it to cash. None of that kind of stuff. So you can just get that instant money right then and there. Hey, that's a great idea. I would have never thought about. You can install your own kill switch, but they got all sorts of gadgets of things that you can do these days. And I know you're tech savvy. That was one of your first type of businesses. Is that correct?
Say that again.
You're pretty tech. I said you're pretty tech savvy, right?
Yeah. When I worked in the DC government at DC Water, I was a data analyst, and I actually work in the fleet. Like, I work in maintenance and asset management and transportation oversight. So that's what I do for my 9 to 5. So I was familiar with a lot of the different technology and capabilities of vehicles, managing millions of dollars worth of assets for DC government taxpayers, and then also learning about the maintenance and the intricacies of vehicles. So, but I didn't, honestly, I don't care about cars at all. Like, I was asking God, why am I in this career field? And now I see, wow, this business model came up where now I'm on my 3rd car in less than 6 months. And I see that it works for me.
That's good. I'm so glad that that is really working for you. And if you guys think about, hey, this is something that might work for me or somebody that you know, make sure that you share this with them. Now, would you do us a favor and tell us, because you were talking too fast for me to actually write down, what kind of companies can you go through that will, that you were talking about? You mentioned something, I think they begin with a
So it's called Turo, Turo, and Hire Car, HYRECAR.com. And I actually, something interesting, I made a course that breaks down how to do everything from point A to point B to get in your car on the road. So because I had a lot of people ask me questions when I'm making posts. I say, I'm gonna make a course. And that turned into another revenue stream that kind of pairs with the vehicle as well.
That's awesome. So if somebody wants to take that course, how would they get in touch with you?
It's just a link. Everything's pre-recorded. I can drop the link in the chat, and if you guys have any questions, you can always just feel free to reach out to me and ask me, and I can explain in depth. A lot of the stuff is briefly and thoroughly explained in the course, but sometimes people have questions. How can I drop it in the chat?
Oh, okay. On the side, if you look where it says comments,
Uh-huh.
You can just click right there and you'll be able to put your comment in there.
Well, I can't. I could just see the comments. So maybe chat with other guests. I can't see.
Just click on it. You because you gave permission, so you just click on it.
Well, I see everybody else's comments, but for some reason I can't read
to the far right. On the far right, do you see something? Well, okay, hold on. I think this is you. It has private in the far right.
Yeah, I just dropped that in there. So if you could drop it to everybody, I just dropped it in the private chat, but it won't let me drop it in. Oh, or is that the private chat? My bad.
That is a private chat.
Oh, all right, perfect. Okay, perfect. That's the link right there. I want to make sure.
So do you have any? Hold on, let me copy that. Do you have a button above it that says banners or chat or anything like that?
Mine just says log in, sign up, free private chat comments. In the comment section, I can read what everybody's saying, but I can't. Okay, perfect. It dropped in there though.
Yes.
All right, thank you.
Perfect. No problem. So there you have it. That's at least two different things that he mentioned right there specifically. And then another one is taking whatever your particular talent or skill is, like the lady in the Bible, she had that one talent and she took it and she basically she made her whole life and everybody and other people around her life possible to happen. So you can do that as well. Do you have any other ideas you want to drop on us?
Yeah, I really firmly believe in like obtaining like a specialized or recession-proof skill at a relatively low cost and then monetizing off that skill. So I know, like I said, I just became certified in taxes, right? And I got my tax certification for $25. It was $25 at Jackson and Hewitt. I had to take an online course. There was 10 chapters, answer some questions, go in and take an online test. It was the exact same test that I took when I was at home. I got my certification for $25. And I like to look at numbers and income like this. So with taxes, let's say the average person, you could charge them $300 to do their taxes, right? And tax season is from January to April. So if you sign 100 people between those 4 months, 25 people a month during the most busy tax season time of the year when people are looking for tax preparers, you can make $30,000 in 4 months just off doing basic taxes. Some people don't make $30,000 in a year. So in 4 months, you can have a tax business. And we're not talking about business taxes where you can charge more. We're not talking about people who have more extensive taxes, who got to do the taxes from the year before. All of that, if you learn that specialized skill, you can definitely maximize your income. I would love, that's why I did it. So I can learn business taxes. So I don't have to pay anybody to do my taxes. And then now I kind of want to be that one-stop shop. The notary, probably the all-in cost for everything that you would need for a notary is probably like around $200 to $300. But there's different websites out here that will allow you to broker their services for notaries, and they'll send you jobs every day. Like, hey, this person in your area needs to get this thing notarized by 2 p.m. tomorrow. Can you do this job? A quick $100. You do 10 of those in a month. That's $1,000. That's your mortgage or half of a mortgage. So that's how I like to look at income now. I do credit repair and credit restoration as well. Invest in a credit course, invest in something, a certification for credit. You could charge people anywhere from $500 to $1,000 to repair their credit. In one 30-minute phone call, you can make $500 as opposed to working a week and making $500. So I like multiplication like that.
All right, hold on. Hold on, because you know what, I want to make sure that you know what the listeners are getting these nuggets and really putting it to heart. Don't just like have them spit out all this stuff and y'all not picking up something. So if anybody does not have a job, maybe it's not necessary that you have a job or stress over getting a job. Maybe it's necessary for you to work on something else. And so these are several ideas, gems to me, little gems that he's dropping, you know, easy things that you can do. I call them easy peasies that you can pick up and do. So, and if you don't know if you know somebody and they don't have a job, they're stressing over it, say, hey girl, why don't you just take this course for this amount and do this and do that? Or check out this video, go on YouTube and check out Tracy Williams, CEO, the Chief Expanding Officer. This is my year to do that, to really expand, to spread my wings. So I got to announce this, you guys. If y'all want to wonder why I'm so excited today, it's because my last day was last week of my JOB, my just over broke. So done with that. Thank you, Jesus. And they're like, what you going to do? So one of the biggest things I'm going to do is take any kind of creative ideas that God gave me and manifest those things. That's my word for the year is manifestation. So I plan on manifesting everything possibly that I have energy for in my heart this particular year, because next year ain't promised. I know tomorrow's not promised, but I'm just saying. So I want somebody to pick that up and say, you know what? It ain't promised. And so I do have something I put on the shelf that I've been wanting to do for a long time. Maybe it was something that I was going to call it wavy, but maybe it's something Mr. Ron Curtis brought up here. That's one of his nicknames. So maybe it's something that he brought up. But if it is, then make sure that you take that thing and that you do it. My great friend that was on here last time, Bonita, we talked about her baking cakes. She loves baking pound cakes. And so I was like, that's my sister right there. When we first met, that was one thing we had in common. But I was the pound cake queen, and you can walk in my house at any time, any day of the week, you will find some kind of cake in the house. So before even dinner came, cake was in the house somewhere. They come home from school, it's smelling like cake. They bring friends over, of course, it's smelling like cake. And they're like, we eating dinner? Yeah, what y'all cooking? Because I'm cooking CAKE. But whatever that one thing is, you take that and maximize on it. So thank you, Thalisa. She's like, agree. Come on, we can do this thing. There's no need for nobody. There's plenty of money out here. Let's go and get it. Right?
They print it every day. Every day. And they getting rid of it every day too. So gotta go get it.
Right. Let's get it. Let's go, y'all. Okay, I want to talk a little bit about the credit side. So just talk to us about whatever's on your heart when it comes to credit repair and how. Okay, I ain't gonna say nothing. You go for it.
Yeah, so credit repair, I don't really like using that word because credit repair is a lot of companies out and scammers that kind of give you a negative connotation of what credit repair is. And people think like, okay, I'm gonna pay this person this money and they're gonna delete everything off my credit report. And if they don't, it was a scam. I got scammed. And that's not how it works. So what credit repair actually is pretty much going through your credit report and verifying whether information is accurate or inaccurate. And a lot of times people have accurate, in a sense, debt or collections or negative derogatory items on their credit profile, but there are laws in place that protect us as consumers from the creditors that we can leverage to get some of that information removed, suppressed, or deleted. Okay. There's different things like I've seen people have different names on their credit report. They might have their mom's name on it and their mom's medical bills on there, or they might have the same name as their dad, but they're a junior and some of their dad's information is popping up on there or vice versa. So you want to always make sure that your information is correct on your credit report and have a professional look at it to kind of walk you through it and give you an in-depth analysis. A lot of credit repair companies or consultants, they offer a free credit analysis. It's just kind of breaking down, or vetting that person to see if they know what they're talking about. The credit repair process, like credit or credit restoration, I call it credit restoration because there's two parts to it. So the first part is disputing the negative items, and the second part is building up your credit profile. So oftentimes I see a lot of people scores are where they are because they don't have credit cards. I've had clients who were 60 years old and never had a credit card in their life. Those things negatively impact your score because not having any credit is just as bad as having bad credit. So as we go through the credit dispute process, Yeah, we're gonna get some things removed. Yeah, some things aren't gonna get removed. Some things might come back. We'll dispute it. But during that whole process, we're getting you approved for different lines of credit, secure cards, retail cards, major cards, different types of loans, installment accounts. You want to have at least 5 to 10 accounts on your credit profile in good standing. And if you think about it, if you have all or the majority negative late payments, collections, charge-offs, negative items, is going to severely impact your score. So that's what I try to teach people. I teach people how to leverage your credit to start businesses. I firmly believe in OPM, which is others people's money. The best type of business to start is using somebody else's money to front it. And why not leverage your credit to go start the banks? Use the bank's money to go start your business. My first car I bought on a zero interest business credit card. My second car I bought it on business credit. I mean, a business loan under my business. I financed it for $180 a month. So I didn't have to come out of my pocket $10,000. So I try to teach people you can leverage your credit to your benefit. You can actually travel for free with your credit cards. I tell people, hey, sign up for this credit card. It gives you 70,000 flyer points after you spend $3,000 in the first 4 months. Your mortgage or your rent, $1,500 a month, pay your rent on your credit card for the first 2 months. Boom. Now you can take a trip with your family or several trips on your credit card company on the expense of them using those flyer miles. Cash back, free money, food, all types of stuff. So I try to just teach people how important credit is. It's a recession-proof business. Regardless, we're in a recession or the pandemic, the creditors want that money. The mortgages went on hold, but not your credit bill is still due every month. So it's just something that I think everyone should learn about because it's not taught in the schools and it's not taught at home. And oftentimes people realize about it when it's too late.
Yeah, well, thank you for sharing that. That's some good points. We don't want to wait till it's too late because it is important to start learning, start teaching our kids that. And I'm glad that we have somebody, a young man that's going in the schools and teaching kids that, right? That's what you're doing.
That's
and
what
how
I
many
do.
schools are you in now?
Right now, we're in 3 schools in DC. We're in the middle school and 2 high schools. We do mentorship, virtual mentorship for them right now due to COVID. But I have been able to teach different financial literacy curriculums to us a program called Posse. It's a scholarship program. Some like 20 kids in California. They got full rides to college this past summer, and they wanted to learn about financial literacy. A colleague reached out to me, asked me to teach them. I've taught financial literacy at my 9-to-5 job. My director found that out, so I've led webinars and seminars. So yeah, but it definitely starts with the kids because I have 2 younger brothers, and I just wish somebody was told me the stuff that I tell them when I was their age.
Yes. I just got to show this comment because I need my glasses on. Yes. Thank
They
you so
do.
much. And you know what, Kathy is saying schools really need this. Thank you so much for spreading this knowledge. Because here's the deal: when you start talking about numbers off your head, it reminded me of Miss Kathy Weaver. Not that she's a numbers gal now, but that was her gig before, and so it just stuck with her. And so that's why it's important to start teaching them while they're young, because whatever you teach them while they're young, let me tell you, even if they don't stick with it the whole time through, it will come back to them, and they'll follow through with those same principles. They'll be able to keep some good. I'm sorry, I'm here for you. So they'll keep that good credit. They'll keep those ideas in their mind. And you know what? I really truly believe God will give them other creative ideas and witty inventions, just like He did for those with the talents. Those that use their talents, He multiplied it and He gave them more. But if you got that one talent, you say, "Oh, it's no big deal, and nobody gonna like this or that or the other," and you just basically have that talent, then what would you have? Nothing to multiply. So you got what's 0 times 0? 0, right? We can all do that. But if you got 3 things you can do or 2 things that you love to do or that you're passionate about, I love the idea about the vending machine. So I have been dreaming about that. And so when I woke up this morning, I said, I'm going to manifest this thing because, I know sometimes people like to do vision boards. I think I am past the vision board stage. And
Uh-huh.
I proved this a couple of times over and over. And I think I got this from my husband because when he gets a vision or passion that something that he wants, he gets that tunnel vision and he just sticks with it until it manifests. And so it's not that I try to make it happen, But if you keep thinking about it and dreaming about it, and when you get up and you're speaking about it, like it's getting ready to happen. I'm like, okay, so and I got some more ideas to go with it. So today, if you guys got any ideas of something that you can do, what I'd love for you to do is drop that in the chat. If you got an idea, whether it's one or two, put a number in the chat, 1 or 2 or 3 ideas, something that you will decide that you're going to move on and that you're going to participate in, or you're going to share it with somebody. Don't just hoard it all to yourself. You got to give that away, right? Sharing is caring. And part of true self-care is being financially responsible to somebody else. So this is a small way of being responsible, So just put something in the chat, especially if you're catching it on the replay as well. Like, yeah, I got an idea, Tracy, or I got one idea, I got 2 ideas. So it's better to take at least one thing and make sure you roll with that one thing, follow it through until it manifests. And then instead of getting 3 ideas and then you get stuck in that space of, man, I got so many ideas rolling through my head, I just don't know what to do. So if you take one thing, you get it, you know what to do. I got several ideas myself here. And so I'm going to take one of those things and follow through with it. And I'll talk to my husband about it. So I know if I get him excited, that I got some help. So if you get some help, it makes it easier, right?
That's true.
Yeah. So 2 is better than 1. And then definitely if you got 3, so even it doesn't have to be a mate, but if it's somebody that you trust and y'all go into business together, get your contracts right and have an attorney look over it, those kind of things. Make sure you follow all the way through. Make sure you do your research. And so that's why I enjoy people coming on my show, giving us some nuggets, because they don't feel like I have to keep everything by myself, or if I tell somebody else and they're going to make all the money and I'm not going to make anything. It's not like that. When you come and you listen and you share some of your information, the nuggets that you have, you're only giving a little bit away. But when you get a one-on-one with a person, or you take their course, then you have access to them, right? And you can get so much more than if you would just listening to a show. So freebies are okay, but you know what? Investing in yourself for, with your money, that makes it a little bit better. Would you agree with that? Wavy, how you feel about that?
I definitely agree. Investing with other people's money. I try to teach people to just buy income. A lot of times we spend money on liabilities. We spend money on clothes, on food, on alcohol, on things that are our vices, and they don't bring us any type of return. But you can actually, buy income. You can literally go use some debt to go buy something that's going to make you more money.
Right.
So I definitely agree.
Yeah. So we got to do it. So look, this is going to be another, remember when OPP was a thing? Other people's problems. So that's why I like this, right? So OPM, I love it. I'm gonna start saying that. I'm a girl that really likes to use those acronyms. Other people's problems. That's where I got hope from. Have only positive expectations through true self-care. Well, we're about to wrap this up, you guys. And I'm actually be able to end on time this time. I hope you guys are excited about that, so you can get on with your Saturday. It is a gorgeous day outside. If you guys want to get with Wavy, okay, Ron Curtis, but on Facebook, he's not known as Ron Curtis. Then I want him to just, give us some last words, some last nuggets. What's next for you? Do you have something on your plate that is next?
Right now, I'm focusing primarily in tunnel vision on credit. I'm gonna dive into taxes, even though I got my certification next tax season, because my goal is to be like a credit lawyer. Like, I want to know everything about credit. I'm building systems in place right now. A lot of stuff I was doing was manual. And I saw a post yesterday. It said, thousandaires talk about money and millionaires talk about systems. So I'm real big on automating processes and taking myself out of the equation. So I just invested in some different education and some different systems that will make the entire process seamless for me. So now I can focus on generating more clients. So that's the biggest thing, and understanding the laws and everything more complexly, so I can actually, practice what I'm preaching. So that's what's going on now. I just got a third car. I'm about to go put a kill switch in that today. I'm going to make a vending machine course as well to kind of break down everything that I know about vending machines so people can start. And then just continue to look and partner and connect with like-minded individuals like yourself, Tracy, because I firmly believe in iron sharpens iron. And our network is our net worth. So we definitely have to continue to build and communicate with each other and inspire one another.
Oh, I gotta put that in the chat. Iron sharpens iron. Oh my goodness, that's what's up. Yes, so true, you guys. So that's the whole thing about don't try to do anything on your own. Do it with somebody else. Iron does sharpen iron. If you know somebody, even if they're not doing the exact same thing as you, they have a skill that you don't have, and you need that skill. Maybe you have something that they have, and let's get together and collaborate. It's a good time to keep collaborating with one another, keep networking with one another. That's why I always ask you guys, if you have a business, put the name of your business in the box. The people are going to keep seeing that name over and over. You might say, well, nobody connected with me yet. When they see it over and over, because people have to see stuff about 10 or 12 times before they actually notice, oh yeah, I've seen that before. What is that about? Then it triggers something in the brain to say, I'm gonna check that out. Maybe I need to check out what she does. Miracles, okay, that makes sense. Water's a basic thing. And then when they see it over and over, you know what? Something clicks because something happens in their life, and at that time it clicks. It is the appointed time for you to connect with that person. Or if you see that sisters helping others progress, I need some. Someday you might say, I need some help. Let me just see what she's all about, and they go to your page and they start looking. So I'm all about inspiring hope. Make sure that you have only positive expectations. No matter what's going on, it's just something that is seen. Everything that happens is not real, just something that's happening, but you still have control of how you feel and how you react, and you still have the ability to choose what you're going to do in that. Let me see what we got here. Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Kathy, for putting that in there. Help. That's my tribe leader right there. We need that. Everybody, yes, iron sharpens iron. We need that help. So thank you again for joining us. Make sure that you share this. And you guys have a wonderful Saturday. Peace out. Love you guys.
All right. See you guys.